issue that's on this Proposition A, which is referred to as, I guess, the police czar position, which will oversee the actions and the policies and procedures and budget for the police department.
Not just the police department, but public safety.
Tell me more about this.
If you read
David Moore.
If you read the proposition, it starts out with 3 objectives. The reduction of mass incarcerations or detentions, which is directed at the refugee and asylum seeker issue. The alleged the systematic racism in law enforcement, which criminality is not based on race, it's based on actions. Regardless of what your race is, if you commit a crime, period. But the third objective of the proposition is the acquisition of this, as they put, scarce funds to put towards social programs that don't benefit anyone except select individuals. Social programs which have not produced the results which for decades nonprofit and tax-exempt organizations have been saying will produce. Prime example, again, back to homelessness. We spend millions of dollars on Haven for Hope. We spend millions of dollars leasing hotels for homeless people in San Antonio. We spend millions of dollars each year cleaning up the mess created by homelessness. A mess that can put neighborhoods in risk with blocking drainage and blocking flood zones. All right? They want to be able to take those dollars away and give them to another program. Well, let's face it, San Antonio has just shy of 8,000 tax-exempt programs in the city. And that's where they want to put that money. They want to take it from public safety. And the overseer of this will become the justice director. A justice director who has no qualifications, specifically written in to the proposition, that he has no knowledge, no experience, no training in law enforcement, no financial connection to law enforcement. Virtually his experience is that he doesn't have experience. But this proposition wants to put him in charge of overseeing and controlling the largest portion of our city budget over the city manager. It makes him virtually the czar of public safety.
So you're asking somebody that has no medical experience as a similarity to perform an appendectomy. And
you're putting in charge of our largest portion of the city budget under the control of an individual who is appointed by city council, who has no experience, no expertise, and virtually no knowledge of law enforcement procedures or policies.
And they're supposed to run the budget for
just
those purposes.
They're not only supposed to run the budget, they're also supposed to run the policies and procedures set out in Proposition A and ensure that they are enforced. And that in itself criminalizes law enforcement in San Antonio. Because as our illustrious city attorney said, well, these are not enforceable. In part, he is correct. They're not enforceable against you or I. But a police officer who violates an aspect of Proposition A is threatened with suspension or even termination if he fails to comply with Proposition A. Even though his actions are illegal or his actions are in violation of state law, if he follows those procedures, if he follows the law, he could be terminated. It criminalizes his enforcement ability.